Hello, everyone, and welcome to nice one. And welcome to another episode of Stu and the Nun 402, episode cuatro o dos. Think how you'd say it down in well, it's not how you'd say it if I spelled it out that way. But you can see my brother from another motherland, and truly another mother and motherland. Toby, the Nunn. How you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, hard to believe we're in the 400s. I mean,
Yeah.
like
When you were last here, I think we were in the 200s.
apparently we've been doing this a while. I don't know if I've been on it since the 100s, but here I am. So
Yeah. Good to see you.
mm,
Very good to see you and know that you're still alive and kicking it down there in Marvita country.
well, I was scared we were going to lose you this year, because I thought this was the year, but apparently it wasn't. So maybe next year's your year. Maybe next year's my year.
Lose
And
me
when I say
where?
mine, I mean our. We talk about the Sabres.
Oh,
Heart, man, it
yeah.
should have. Man, I thought Dallas and Buffalo were going to meet in the Stanley Cup. In fact, I probably have a journal entry from preseason where I write that.
Mm.
I might have laid a wager on it.
Well, if
I
you
believe
probably
it was.
thought that money was lost if you watched the first half of the season for the Sabres because it was not looking good. They couldn't give those tickets away, but the Olympics turned them around. And,
Yeah, no way around. The I
yeah,
just
someone was talking about the other day, and I said, it'd be different if they just gave up or quit. But it's like they owned those last two games, and they fought their heart out, and it was just to have them lose at home ice, Game 7 that way. When they owned that, they owned 2/3 of that final game. They were just crushing it. I mean, they won on every stat, and you got
heart.
a quick whistle, and it's always something. Ride right, freaking no goal. So it's just the curse, man. Just doesn't let up.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, no. I mean, do you guys have a cup? You have a cup, right? You have one.
Sabres, I don't think have any. No.
Vancouver have this many.
Yeah, I don't think Sabres have
Uh,
one.
yeah,
No. This should have been our year, man. We had,
yeah.
but then again, Bills should have been last year. Should have been our year. So, no, it was painful.
Buffalo puts out. Look what Buffalo puts out. I mean, they got you right. So I mean, already winning, especially around Christmas time with the Electra like orchestra. That you what's the National Lampoons that you
The
like set
Christmas
up at your house?
vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, like so they have you. They got David Bellavia. All right, old Bells,
Yeah.
beardless Bells, by the way. Like
I heard he's beardless now. I did not see him today. I heard he was
beardless
on
Bells.
Fox. I don't know if he
And
lost
then
a bet
I
or
mean
what.
you
What
got the
that's about.
Bills and you got the Sabres. I mean, like
Yeah.
Buffalo and one of the greatest contributions to American culture of all time, and global impact and cultural global impact. You know, Buffalo wings, man.
Okay. I was
Like
hoping you were gonna say wings. Yeah, it's like wings, pretty
yeah,
much.
man. Like
Yeah. The
oh, and you guys have that really cool like cop. What's his name? Donut or whatever that makes a funny
Angry Cop. Yeah. Yeah.
angry
Richard
cop.
High, who we've had
And you
on the
got
show before. We've had on the
you
show
got that.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, hockey, they're playing right now in
They are.
Game 5, and Knights are up 1-0 in the first period. So,
Like that.
who
That's
are you rooting
momentum.
for in the Stanley Cup? Who are you rooting
I'm not.
for?
Yeah.
Not either one.
No. The I can't bring myself, like to root for Vegas, even though I should. I just can't bring myself to root for him because of Mitch Marner. And as
That's right.
happy as I am for Eichel, and I truly am happy for Eichel. I just
Most
yeah,
people in Buffalo are going.
anyone that like goes to the Leafs organization and ends up somewhere else, it just in my heart. It's just in my heart that like that is bias, right? That's like that is bias. And I have what's called Dallas privilege, because Dallas can take any star from anywhere and make them awesome, like Jason Spezza, or like, they can come through all these different systems and like do awesome things.
Yeah,
You know,
it's you sound like most of the Buffalo people about Eichel. Like everyone's rooting for Carolina because everyone's kind of like F Eichel.
Now I tell you what,
because he
there's a
came
young
through
kid.
here and he kind of quit. He wanted out of here. He wanted traded. He wanted to do it here. I don't hold that. I've never understood why fans get like, there would be people that would, Pekka left here, different people would leave and go somewhere else. And they'd be like, how did that guy leave? I'm like, dude, you leave a job to go make more money at another job. I'm like, just, they're not loyal. They're not born and raised and loyal to this town. I mean, it's a job. They go where they think they got a chance to win the cup or make money or whatever.
And so let's also, like bring it back to your father's time. They didn't volunteer. They got drafted.
Right.
Like, Eichel didn't sit there going like, I really hope the best team in the league picks me. Oh, wait, the draft lottery happened in Buffalo. They suck again. And so, like, chances are, where am I going? Fucking cold upstate New York. I hope the taxes are favorable. Like, he didn't get to pick where he went. It's just like Taylor Hall. It's just like these guys, they Kachuk, like, I mean, the list goes on. These guys didn't pick to go to these places. They get drafted.
Right.
And they get
it's same with football and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm split between the two. I would like to see. I mean, I'm impressed by the Vegas organization. They've been here 8 or 9 years now. They've been to the Cup, been to the playoffs 3 times. That is.
They've been to the finals.
The finals 3 times. Yes.
Yeah. They've been in the playoffs more than that.
I'm kind of rooting for Carolina because, man, 2 sweeps, the first 2 rounds, and I mean, I didn't think they could be stopped. I thought this game, I thought the Cup would be over already. I thought they would just clean house, but obviously Vegas you don't get up to the Stanley Cup without being really, really good.
I think it'd be disrespectful for me to cheer for Carolina because they're Eastern Conference, and like, I'm the West Side, you're the East Side, like. You're the Biggie, I'm the Pac, however it works, or I'm the,
Not sure
the
how
Dre.
that works, but I got you.
Yeah, whatever. I'm the West Side, you're the East Side. But there's a kid on Carolina that I watched play AHL in Austin, there at the Cedar Park Arena, a kid named Stankoven. And then, like, moved his way up to Dallas, got called up. I watched him go up and down a couple times and then keep his spot up there. And then he was part of that Hiskinen trade. And that kid, man, when he was line mates, Stankoven and Maverick Bork were like line mates. And
people did not know they were going to tune in to Hockey Talk tonight.
No, sorry about that. My bad. We should be talking about the San Antonio Spurs. Go Spurs, go. And why should we be talking about them?
I don't know, man. I live in New York. I think everyone's really excited here about the Knicks. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Taylor,
you saw the greatest
Swifty's off of the Knicks, so I mean,
you saw the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history last night.
Yeah, it was
but
pretty
the
cool.
reason this household cheers for Go Spurs Go is because we have a member of the Spurs in our family. So our oldest daughter, Eli, works for the Spurs, and so we're like super proud of her, and we're excited for her to be part of this. She went to school for sports management. She's working in her field, which not many college graduates can say. She graduated early. She owes no man any money. She's got no debt. She's working in her field, and not just in her field, but like at the highest levels, right? So like, Go Spurs, go.
There you go. All
right.
Yeah. So anyways, that is going on. I think the next game's tomorrow night, right? Because I think they have a space.
I think they're Saturday, I think.
Oh, okay. And it's 3-1, right? Right. Yeah, 3-1. Yeah. So exciting sport time right now. We're gonna roll right out of this between NBA Finals and Stanley Cup right into like 250th, right to
Yeah.
America's birthday. I mean, that's about to. We're about to have. I mean, I've seen pictures of the rink being built on the lawn. I mean, that thing is. It's not small. It's not just a.
No, the UFC setup is wild. Like I've been checking out those videos and trying to see what we can find about it. Um, it looks spectacular, uh, and I what a cool way to celebrate. Um, 250 years. So you got the White House hosting, a mixed martial arts event, with the UFC.
Right.
North America is hosting the World Cup. I had the absolute funnest afternoon this afternoon. Not really, but it was fun to witness the, like Mexico opening ceremonies, Mexico City, Mexico hosting South Africa, and watching them, beat South Africa 2-0 in a game with 3 red cards, and just like
So
couple of
the
goals,
porch was
and just
rocking
oh the world stopped.
in
Our
Mexico.
little world stopped, and everybody, stores emptied, just to find a TV. And I added extra like Bluetooth speakers, so that we could like pump sound into the marina, so the guys, like nearby working could hear it and stuff. No, it just, and then like trying to get home, you and I were like talking. That's why, hey, sorry we're late today. That's because I was caught in a Mexican fiesta traffic jam with everyone like woo woo woo, not quite Iraqi style, but
Yeah.
but Mexicano style.
Yeah, that's good.
My name
No
is
shooting in the air, but yeah, that's yeah, the World Cup definitely kicking off today. I think so today it opened in Mexico. Tomorrow I think it opens in L.A. I believe
Yep.
the
Tomorrow.
U.S. is hosting. I think
Yep.
playing against Portugal. I mean, this is pretty. I'm I'm not a huge follower of soccer to that extent, but this seems pretty monumental to have being hosted across 3 different countries, and then it's all going to boil down to being played in Rutherford, New Jersey.
I love international sports. I mean, I'm the guy when the Olympics are on. You
Oh, yeah, I
know,
love my Olympics.
I'll watch the most obscure event. I'll watch the doubles canoe or whatever it is. Like I'll watch the most obscure event because I love international competition.
We
I
know you're
love the
watching curling.
idea.
We know you and CV are watching curling. So
Especially the
yeah,
women's.
yeah.
Like, hey, I'm a man. Like,
Rob is being true producer. He's putting up team who's playing who in the chat. So
oh, I love it. I love it.
Canada playing Bosnia Herzegovina. Ooh, that's kind of close to home. A little Bosnia action going on there.
If it was basketball, they'd be doing better.
Yeah.
I think Bosnia and Herzegovina bumped Ireland out to qualify in. So like, they've already had a hard test to get there. So hopefully they do all right. But yeah, it's really neat. I read these books. They were in my dad's library, and they were the only political books that my dad owned. And the reason I read them as a kid was because they were cartoonish, caricaturish, and it told the story of the diplomacy surrounding the what it used to be called, the equivalent of the World Cup of hockey, right? But it was the Summit Series. That's what it was. It was the Summit Series back in the day, right? So Reagan, Pierre Trudeau,
Right.
Was it Gorbachev? Yeah, Gorbachev, and is the Russian dude.
Right.
And so a lot of that, like Russia was experiencing glasnost,
Right.
and all this stuff was going on. A lot of the diplomacy and negotiations that went around, which became like the falling of the Berlin Wall, right? With Reagan, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, like all that. A lot of the back channel negotiations happened at hockey rinks because the Summit Series, like the three countries kind of came together to play like this series of hockey, but it wasn't just so the Red Army could like scare and annihilate, the steroid using college kids of the United States and Canada. It was because like they were trying to engage in diplomacy, and it was like really cool. Like Pierre Trudeau's face was like caricatured on a beaver body, kind of like, I don't know, like what's on Mars right here. Reagan's face was kind of caricatured, like with a beak onto like, an eagle. And, Gorbachev was like a bald bear with like a birthmark right around here, wherever Gorbachev's birthmark was. Well, that was like, by reading these political books before I probably should have read these political books and understood what was actually the implications of it. And then my dad was trying to fill in the gaps. I loved international sports because you realize like that is the most common warfare, and it is the politest warfare of diplomacy. And it goes all the way back to the Greek times, right? Bring us your best. Sparta, Troy, everyone would send like these city states, the polises would like send their best athletes. Like the event of the marathon, comes from like one of them running from one city state to the other, right? I guess it was from like Athens to Marathon or Marathon to Athens. And so I love international sports because you see the pride that people have for their country. You can cheer on your heritage, you can cheer on your culture, you can cheer on your ancestors without it being offensive, without it being disrespectful.
For the most part, people are civil and respectful.
Yeah, and like it's not disloyalty. Like, I was absolutely happy for Mexico today. Well, I'm not Mexican, but I'm happy for the people of Mexico, and I'm happy for Mexico as a country to get a win and a positive thing. It's a win. Even if it was a loss, I think the event went off in such a positive way that it's a win for the country. It's a win for the culture. It's a win for the nation of Mexico. And so I love when, like international sports of any kind come around, because you see the best of that country, and you typically see the best in sportsmanship. You see fair play, and you see like, well, here's the reality. Several years ago, Iceland, with a population, what is Iceland's population? I know Rob can probably fact check me, but I bet it's like under 200,000, or maybe it's 250,000 or less. I don't even know if it's that big. Like, I know it's smaller than the city of Austin. The entire country of Iceland, is the size of the area of Austin, right? They made it all the way to the finals. And so look at the talent pool that they're pulling from in soccer, right? A summer sport. Iceland.
Just so you know, 394,000 to 402,000, somewhere between 394 and 402.
Oh, it's still less than Austin, right? So so cool. I wasn't too awfully wrong.
No,
but still, like small country, like imagine taking the city of Austin and saying we need to field the U.S. men's national team out of only Austin high schools. Like that's hard to do. And so when you see a country rise up and do something like that, you gotta respect it. When I was in Iraq, and Iraq made it, like on the charity tip, but then earned a couple games into that one World Cup or whatever, and they were like shooting at night, and like we had to like hide because the bullets started raining from the sky.
Gravity still exists. Yeah.
What goes up must come down.
Yeah.
I was still happy for the people. Like, you're in the middle of the war, your country's like just decimated, everything's going shitty.
Have a moment and be.
But you have this thing that can unite you, can bring you together, and give you hope, right? Because that's all it is. Sports, fishing, all these activities, and they're just the greatest moments of hope. Like, every little kid hopes to be good at something. Every teenager hopes to make it to the next level. Every kid either in college hopes to make it to the next level, or is just grateful that he made it to that far. But it's sports provide
every
hope.
grown man hopes to catch or shoot a trophy.
Word.
Yeah. No, but that's cool to. I mean, yeah, you sat in the traffic and all that, but again, the people they weren't warring. There wasn't crime, corruption.
Well,
You know, catastrophe brings people together, right? You think of
yeah,
9/11, you think of
yeah.
Katrina, you think of that, but also, like you said, sports or things like that bring people together. They don't care about politics. They don't care about that. They just care about their nationality and rooting for something regardless, right? I'm sure Taylor Swift is not a Knicks fan, even though she showed up there last night, but she was part of it, and along with Ben Stiller and every other person that came there. But just a chance to kind of forget everything else. It's entertainment, right? It's entertainment, like you say. You can kind of just tune everything else out, and yeah. So, but no, this is a good time. This is going to go on for a few weeks, right? The World Cup it's several. This is not.
Oh yeah, it's probably a month,
Yeah,
probably a month
there's a
long.
lot of teams involved. I was
Yeah,
seeing some of the
because you
stats.
got pool play and then you
Right.
got tournament play, and no, I love it, because you can throughout history see these moments, and the UFC on the White House is a big part of that.
Right.
The UFC on the White House is like, hey, look at us, here we are, as a nation, celebrating this. I mean,
Yeah, and it's
I saw someone saying something the other day.
and
They're
you would
like,
know, but isn't I mean MMA? It's kind of a U.S. I mean, it's pretty much a U.S. only sport. I mean, there's probably other countries that are in
oh
it, but
no, no, no.
I mean, we're the ones that started it, right? I mean, I mean,
Uh,
I would think, aren't we?
no, I don't.
I mean, it's mostly U.S.
I would say that it financially lifted off here, because of television and coverage.
Right.
But I think it would be unfair to countries that like Brazil.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah,
It'd
yeah.
be unfair to countries like Japan. It would be unfair to countries like the Netherlands, that have had very robust multi-discipline mixed martial art events like shoot box and stuff like that, pancreas. Uh, I think it would be disingenuous to say
Okay.
that we're the
Well,
the founders of it, but I
okay,
would say we're the ones that commercialized it
that
and
makes sense. Okay.
televised it better
Right.
than anybody
Made it
else.
popular and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, again, it's not just a ring, like on the lawn. I kind of thought it was going to be like, like you see in a gym, just kind of a ring and some dudes are going to get in there and that kind of
No,
stuff.
it's full production.
Oh, yeah. And, they're doing the F1 race in DC. I mean, I have friends, as you do, a lot of friends and coworkers at all in DC, and they all keep asking me, like, are you going to come down doing the 250 stuff? I'm like, dude, it's like going over months. It's not one day. I mean, it's just, I think it's starting like next week, even though there's already been things going on. I mean, it's just, there's nonstop events all the time. Obviously, the fight's a big one, is a big one, just like the F1 race or the IndyCar race. Not F1, I think it's the IndyCar race. But
I will say there, there's been a lot of rhetoric about, utilizing the White House, for such an event. Um, but why not?
I mean, a couple years ago, we had, transgender stripping on the White
Yeah,
House.
I
We've
mean,
had beer summits. We've had,
yeah, like
all
why
kind of
why
stuff.
not?
It's a people's house. This is a people's event, and people are gonna get free tickets. No one's making money off this.
No, like but I love the fact that it's happening. I If someone wanted to have a different type event there, I'd be all for it too. If it made sense to the people hosting it.
Right.
Like, one of the reasons this is happening is because Donald Trump was one of the very first guys, to allow these type of events in his casinos in like Atlantic City and in other places. And he was integral in the establishment of it being promoted in the United States. And so it's fitting that it's being hosted there. But why not? Like, if we have like beer summits, I can't remember what that was for. I was like, oh, because they accused the guy like breaking into his own house or something, right?
It had to do with the cop or something,
The
and
cop like arrested the dude because he was
yeah,
breaking into his own
right,
house. And
right,
yeah,
yeah,
no, like if we do dumb shit like that, we can do dumb shit like this.
Yeah.
The it really kind of
I mean, you're not going to put a football field on the lawn. You're not going to field a baseball diamond or soccer.
no,
I mean, so you're not going to do go kart racing. I mean, it's contained.
but
They can fit it, and
and
um,
I love the idea that we're the tradition of champions, going to the White House, I think is a beautiful tradition. I think, like you and I believe we talked about this, because of what's her face, that like stupid chick, Rapino or
oh
whatever,
yeah, yeah,
like, I can't believe, I wouldn't go if this guy's like, it doesn't matter who the person in the office is. Like the office is inviting a champion of its country to enjoy the accolades of
right.
it, and so I I love that this event is being hosted there. I love that these champions are being hosted there. And speaking of champions being hosted there, something that hasn't happened in a long time that just recently happened, and someone can fact check me on this. Uh, the best Ranger competition winners just got hosted at the White House last week.
Did
And
they
I
really?
like it's about time. Like if you're gonna host some champion, like why not like host home team, right?
Right.
And on top of it, this year's winners, a buck sergeant and a spec four. Like
Wow. Not a lieutenant
not a lieutenant, not a
E7 or
captain,
whatever.
not someone on special duty,
Right.
spending all their time training and not, doing a job. No, like a, a fire team leader and a spec four specialist.
Right.
Like
I knew they were at the
one
Pentagon. I didn't
specimen.
realize they got hosted at the White House.
Last week, yeah, or
Wow.
earlier this week. It recently happened, but I love that tradition, and we need to do that more. Like if you're the guy, like I know this isn't like Best Ranger competition has been televised and it was on ESPN in the past. I'm not sure which network carries it now, or if it's like like a pay service.
Right.
But I mean, man, you're the guy, and you fly F-14s and F-15s better than everybody, and you win. You're the top gun at Navy Top Gun, or you're the top pilot at the Air Force experimental pilot programs, astronaut program, whatever. Yeah, man, you should be celebrated.
It's like they're
Like,
bringing the astronauts up there, right? Same thing. Yeah.
yeah, like why? Like, let's celebrate American accomplishments. Let's celebrate Americans doing extraordinary things. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is we make it political, and
Right.
it's not politics. I guarantee, like, neither the left booster or the right booster that sent that ship up, or however it worked nowadays, was like, oh, only the Republicans can be on the right booster, and only the no, like, there's no politics on a launch pad.
Yeah.
there's no there's no politics as the guy's trying to get a grenade in a freaking trench line. Like, that's a prayer. God's
Yeah.
involved. You got to get the right bounce.
That's right.
Clean living. EIB.
No, but it's right. Is when you see those teams and the media makes it political when there's a player who, I mean, we just saw the recent thing. The young rookie, I think he's a rookie, the Giants quarterback that introduced
Oh
Trump
yeah,
at Suffolk, New York, and the other players on the Giants, came out against him, and had to run in front of a camera, so it all became political camera fodder to, like, oh, look at these players on the same team arguing and calling each other names because he introduced Trump, and the player who not as Trump supporters, like, he should have known better. He's hurting other players' feelings. It's like, what? It's like he's a private individual citizen, and yeah, he happens to be a quarterback for a football team, but he didn't go up there saying I represent the entire New York Giants team. He went up there as he's a quarterback for him.
yeah.
He's well known, and he's that, like, okay, you can go pitch for someone else if you want. There's nothing saying you can't, unless your employer says you can't.
And if like you are that offended by like the political belief of like your teammate uh, on his private time, like
Right.
Maybe you shouldn't be making whatever you're making.
And
Maybe
just
you
you'll
shouldn't be
have
playing
those.
that sport.
Yeah, you'll have those players that will say, will come out. They got to get the attention. Look at me and be like, I'm not going to go. I'm not going. I'm going to protest. So then the media jumps all over it. Look like, so and so didn't go. So what? There's 70 other people on the stage with them. They all went. Because it's
Well,
again not
I
about
love it when leagues within the United States are hosted. The champions are hosted at the White House, especially the NHL. Half the players aren't even American. In fact, probably 70% of the players on the team aren't American. But they still represent an American town. They represent an American city. They represent the people that cheer for them in that town.
right.
And so, like, host them, because when you get to go, like, you're representing the people that don't get the opportunity. And it doesn't matter which side of the dais, the person in charge is on.
Right.
Like, you're being recognized and your town's being recognized and all
That's
of it.
what you brought up. Is a great point. Like most of the NHL are not Americans. They are mostly Canadians, Russians, Swedes, Netherlands, Finland, right? But mostly Canadians. So when they bring up Tampa or whoever, yeah, there's probably a handful that are actually born and bred Americans on that team.
Like, so last year, the Florida Panthers, right? The Florida Panthers won, and they went up there back to back, right?
Right.
And everyone's like, the president really likes Kachuk, because Kachuk is the guy doing all the talking, and Kachuk's the guy next to the president. Like, look at that brown nose. No, it's because he was one of 4 Americans on the team. Like, the rest, like Bobrovsky. You think Bobrovsky?
He's not from
Barkov?
Alabama. He's not from he from
Reinhardt?
Texas.
Like, these guys are all like from everywhere but the
Yeah.
United States, right? So it's like, eh, it's not that Kachuk's like a cheesy. No, he just happens to be American. The
Right.
president wanted an American closer to him.
Yeah, yeah. So we got so it's awesome about the best Ranger competition. We have that. We talked about we got the game going on at their in first intermission. It's tied 1-1, by the way. And we got this weekend Saturday. This is game. I guess it would be game 5 of the NBA
Yep,
Finals. Yeah, and that could
it
be
is.
it. That could be it. And one thing I never understood, Toby. Maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe this is an American thing. I don't think it's a Canadian thing. But I mean, when teams win, I know the other night the Knicks, well, even the other night when the Knicks pulled out that last minute, buzzer beater, the people still go out and just riot and turn cars. I mean, we see it all the time, like when Philly would win a Super Bowl or whatever, like, oh, there goes Philadelphia. It's like, it's one thing to be excited. Like when the Sabres have done well in the past years when they were getting the Stanley Cup, like they swept Ottawa. I was at that game. They swept Ottawa in 4 games and went outside. Everyone's high fiving. You're best friends with everybody. Everyone's hooting, hollering, handing each other beers. I mean, it's just, but I don't get the let's destroy and burn our town down. We won. I don't get where
Yeah,
it comes from.
so that's not an American thing, um, and sadly, like, the worst examples of it are probably Canadian.
Really?
1994, uh, post Game 7, triple overtime. Vancouver lost to the New York Rangers, and they burned Vancouver down.
Well, they
Like,
lost. I not that justifies it,
no,
but
no,
when a
it,
team wins and they still
it
do it.
doesn't matter if you win or you lose. Like, that's not the answer. Just like, there was, a bunch of videos of guys wearing Spurs jerseys leaving Madison Square Garden the other night and just getting beat, like, just monkey stomped because they're Spurs fans. They weren't talking trash. It wasn't like an altercation started. No, like, dude's walking. It's all on video. Dude's walking, and he just gets jumped and gets hammered. And it's his fault because he's wearing a Spurs jersey. That's just poor sportsmanship. But when you see, like, these towns do these things, there's some kind of underlying current. There's something else that they're just like, that's just the excuse that they're
An excuse
using to
to do
do
something.
something else.
Yeah, yeah.
and like we're seeing it right now in cities across the United States, predominantly. And the example I'm using right now is cities in the United States with these teen takeovers,
Right.
right? They they're just looking for an excuse, like to do something dumb.
To cause mischief and tear stuff up,
Yeah,
and
and that's because we're like, we've let law and order go.
right.
Like we've had too many discussions about, abolishing police. We've had too many discussions about abolishing these other law enforcement agencies. So
Well,
like
I live in a
these
great
kids, like they
socialist state of
feel,
New York, where we have bail reform now for a couple of years, and these guys literally commit a crime, get a summons, and go right back on. And they'll say this guy's been picked up 5-6 times. They've been arrested,
yeah.
and they keep going out committing crimes because it's anarchy. Because there's no punishment. There's no
And
ramification.
that's, we've stepped away from law and order. Uh, my daughter, graduated high school, a couple weeks ago, and we traveled to Alabama to witness it and spend time with her. And on the trip there, we stopped and spent the evening. We broke the trip up and we spent the evening in New Orleans. And my wife and I went out in the New Orleans area there, downtown or whatever you call it, and we were bordering, our hotel bordered the financial district in the French Quarter. And so we, on a lazy Sunday afternoon, like kind of walked down into the French Quarter to kind of take it in. But as we were going there, and all I witnessed everywhere I looked was criminality, like from kids riding dirt bikes on the roads, like, and when I say kids, I mean like 13, 14,
Right.
15 year olds.
Oh yeah.
The panhandlers, like would gang up on people. And what are they? Teenagers, maybe young adults. Uh, there was a police presence and a National Guard presence in several different locations that we went to, especially Bourbon Street, National Guard presence and police presence. They said they didn't do anything. They didn't disrupt any criminality. They just stood there and observed it. And when you do nothing and you just observe, well, you're endorsing.
Right.
And so like, you're seeing someone getting pickpocketed and you don't do it. And, like they realize it and they like call for help, and you go over and you're like, oh, did you just get pickpocketed? Well, that sucks. You should have put it in your front pocket or whatever, like,
Right.
You're watching people, high. And when I say high, I don't mean like smoking a little bit of weed. I mean like shooting up,
Right.
like
Yeah.
one, like for all the people from NOLA that are listening to this, I apologize, like, because I'm about to badmouth your town. That might be the absolute dirtiest town I've ever been in. Inside North America, inside North America, and I've been in some dirty towns, and I'm counting 3 countries in North America. Like that's a dirty town, and it was a lawless town, and it's lawless because they know there's no consequence.
Right. No consequence.
They're not going to get arrested. They're not going to have to explain themselves. Like it's and you just hear conversations about like, oh yeah, we just went and we're joyriding this car we just stole. Like
we saw the same thing in Austin when Austin was one of the first big cities that did the defund the police thing. A lot of them left. Then you had the city council and the mayor open up every public space except for City Hall to any homeless people. I mean, people were coming in from all over the country, and you could do it. And then I remember the cops would not show up. The police even put out the notice that if it's not at a certain level of criminality, like, we're not coming. We don't have enough people. We can't come. Like, you're on your own. And it took a lot of different intervention. It's gotten a little bit better. Last time I was there, it's not 100%.
And that's leadership.
Right.
Like that's a direct reflection of leadership.
Yeah. I've been downtown Singapore. I've been downtown Salt Lake City, a lot of cities. But I've walked 3 or 4 in the morning in downtown New Orleans. I was a little nervous, but walked right back down Bourbon Street to my hotel, thinking, not sure I was going to make it. But I've been in a lot of places where I'm like, I can hold my own, whatever. The last time I was in Austin, I believe it was this year or last year. I don't remember when we had a conference down there. I was a couple blocks away, and I called an Uber. I
Isn't that
normally would have always walked to my. I mean, I could see the Marriott.
Austin used to be the coolest town?
I was just a few blocks away, and I'm like, I could walk there. I've walked there all the time, and I kind of was looking around. I'm like, not this time. I'm like, I'll get an Uber, and work and pay for the 90-second ride because
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to do it by myself.
No, you know, obviously from like home based out of Texas there, and just outside Austin and Georgetown. We it used to be, for Austin, to me, was the coolest city in the world. And now it's like, it's scary. Like, I don't want my kids, even though they're grown, to be partying there, because it's just so dangerous on every level, on every aspect. But I talk to people every day, like, hey, we're like thinking about coming down to Mexico to go fishing. You're looking at how dangerous is it? And I'm like, where are you calling from? Austin, Texas. Well, I tell you, we are exponentially safer here than you are there. So, like, come on. Like, oh,
Yeah.
well, what about the cartels? And what about, drug dealers? And what about, like, human trafficking? Like, yeah, you're going to have to find that somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you're in Austin, so you find it everywhere.
like, try 6th Street.
Yeah. Because those kids on
any
motorbikes, those kids on motorcycles, on dirt bikes, usually young inner city kids, they are drug runners. They have in Buffalo now. They have in Baltimore, where I first saw them. They're on 4-wheelers and little Yamaha Enduro 125s. The cops watch them go by. They know they can't catch them, and all they do is they just loud bikes and quads right down the middle of the street. No helmets, no license, and the cops literally, I've seen cops just watch them go by and just not do anything because they can't get. They'll scatter like roaches. They can't catch them, and they'll put other people at risk. So they just let them go, and all they're doing is moving drugs, and on vehicles that they can get in and out of areas that police cars.
It's just a quick conveyance.
Yeah.
I if this is confession time, like, I've ridden motorcycles most of my life. I've used my services to deliver, not drugs, but like I've used my motorcycle, to get in and out, evade, if you will, of places, just because it's easier, faster, and more nimble.
Yeah.
Unlike me now,
But that was
where
probably out in the
I'm not
remote, yeah, the remote woods of Canada, not in downtown Baltimore, Austin, Buffalo, and many other inner city areas. Maybe not. Okay, all right, we won't go there.
I did ride my motorcycle from Fort Hood to Austin quite a bit on a road we weren't allowed to be on, because I knew I wouldn't get caught.
Well, when you're in the Army, you have an excuse. You got to buy there, so that's okay, because we do all kind of things. Well, let me tell you where I didn't see dirt bikes and stuff being ridden on city streets. That was the last few days in Nashville. I was lucky enough to be, for the second year in a row, to be at CMA Fest, where they shut down all of Lower Broadway, and they had 100,000 people a day from all 50 states, 39 countries in downtown Nashville. Locked that place down, and it was there were no motorbikes. There was obviously people of all kind of intent, but they the one thing about the Nashville police, they put that place on lockdown. You can't look anywhere and not see a cop. When it comes to CMA Fest, they make sure. We would walk at night, Toby. We'd come back from the Nissan Stadium across the river, walk back to our hotel, maybe at 1.2 miles, at 1 o'clock in the morning, perfectly fine. The homeless people there, and folks like that, not harassing like you talked about earlier. Not not like ganging up on you. Um, you know, they would walk by and they just looked at you, looked at them. They weren't paying. They didn't put their hand out. They didn't expect anything. They was like they were sleeping on a park bench. They were like doing that kind of stuff. We just walked right by them. There was no where other. I've been in so many other cities like probably you have where you just they lock eyes with you and they just start hammering you and bugging you and stuff. But you know, there's no harassment.
Hey, give me 5 minutes. I got to handle something real fast.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. But for those that are on listening, watching, if you ever get a chance, last year was a bucket list. I didn't know we'd get to go a second year in a row. Definitely did. It's a phenomenal time. Yes, it's mostly country music, but there's genres all over. We saw, I believe my wife said we saw 81 or 82 acts. What did she say? We 83, not counting the ones we saw twice. 83 different performers, either individual singers or bands. Also got to see the great Randy Travis, who is obviously not singing anymore. He had a bad stroke, but got to see an event with him, his wife talking, and he said a few words. That was pretty phenomenal because he's been an icon in country music, with a voice that is just stands out. So got to see him and attend a great church service on Sunday morning, led by Brandon Lake, who I'm big fans of, and he's out of Mount Pleasant, Charleston, South Carolina area, and he was led a service that had a couple of extra people join him. Cece Winanis and Lainey Wilson and Dan and Shay, big country artists themselves, and it was a church service, and they packed that place. They filled one stage and then shut down two others just so they could live stream it. And there's a lot of video and footage out there. You can see drone footage. It had to be tens of thousands of people. It was amazing to witness that and witness people of faith all come together and just enjoy great music and that kind of stuff. But it was pretty awesome, like I say, to see people.
How many people were at that service? Because you sent me that video.
Yeah,
where you were planning the crowd, and you
right.
were up close. You had great seats.
Yeah,
but that worship area, like that was huge. Like there was
I wish
a couple thousand people, huh?
I was talking to Christian. I was like, I wish they would have somehow counted it or whatever. But each stage has a limit, and we've been to that stage before last year and this year where they would cut it off at probably around 6,000 or 7,000. They didn't cut it off. They filled it. Every rooftop bar that could oversee had people on it. Every bridge going over the river on both sides was full of people. They definitely probably
like
tripled
over 10,000 people, probably.
Oh, easily.
How cool is that?
We went down at 8 in the morning. It wasn't starting till 9:30. We went down at 8 thinking, oh, we'll get a little bit early because we'll probably get a good seat. We were so far away, I didn't think we were going to make it in there. There were people there at 5 in the morning lined up.
Oh, wow. It looked like you had a good vantage spot.
We did. We were packing it in. You became friends with everybody. It was like getting everyone on the C-130.
Yeah.
Everyone was, and then they had a heat casualty, which is pretty, they dealt with that right away. It was pretty hot. Then they didn't even bother selling waters anymore. People from backstage were just bringing out cases and just handing them out. It was a phenomenal event. They got to move it to the stadium next year because we attended this last year and it was just Brandon Lake, and this year with Lainey Wilson and Dan and Shay and all these people, it brought in a lot more folks. And I wish they would have counted, but it had to be easily over 10,000 people.
Was that your highlight?
That was definitely a highlight. I would say that was a highlight, along with Jelly Roll was a surprise appearance on Friday night. He was not listed. They snuck him in there, and it was great. I've seen him before a couple times. He was definitely a highlight. Being able to meet our boy Willie Jones and see him and talk to him for a little bit. Actually got a few words with him. Was great. Actually getting to see him and see some of his stuff and perform. Cooper Allen's a great one. I'm a Ella fella, so Ella Langley was freaking awesome.
If you're not,
yeah. Yeah,
You're not.
Stephen Wilson Jr. is phenomenal. Seeing Florida Georgia Line come back together after 4+ years there and announce their come back together and then pop into the stadium and do a surprise performance. I mean, there was quite a few. It was a good time. We saw over 20 more acts this year than we saw last year.
Oh wow.
So it was
Why
83
you
total.
think because with the experience of having a year under your belt, you kind of knew how to navigate things better, plan your time better, make choices about where to be,
Yeah.
when to be.
You fight to find time to eat because there's 9 stages during the daytime's all free, and there's 9 stages full of acts, and you've got to sit there and they have an app and you load in, and me and the wife, we sit down and we put on who we want to see. You make your schedule, and then we had to bounce that off each other, so you start to categorize it between who I have to see,
Conflicting.
would like
Yeah.
to see. If I don't see, it's not the end of the world, kind of thing. And then you've got to figure out, where's this stage at? Where is that? How much time do we have? Because they pretty much play 20 to 30-minute sets, and that's it. So you can't be super late. You're going to miss half of it. But it is, we definitely knew better what to bring, how to be prepared, and even learn some stuff from this year to be better for if we go back again next year. But it is, it's a strategy. I mean, dude, they start at 10 in the morning, and the night performances in the stadium did not get over till 12:30, almost 1 o'clock every night. And then you got to walk back, and then you got to shower up, do this, do that, try to get some sleep, and then you got to be back down at 10 in the morning. So there's not a lot of lollygagging time. I mean, and you're trying to navigate 100,000 people, so you're waiting in line, you're trying to get in, that kind of stuff. It was great, but there were no dirt bikes, there were no motorcycles. That is for sure.
Yeah. I think what really impresses me is like when there's an event like that and people overlook everything else and they just take it in, and participate or support it. The fact that there's 9 stages during the day open to the general public.
Yeah.
Just to come in. And one, I think it's neat because you hear, especially in country music, you hear artists say thank you to the audience a lot.
Right.
You see a high level of gratitude. Like, hey, I appreciate you buying my album because I get to do this and my life is awesome because you enjoy this. And but to go out there and just here's my time. This is my treasure, my skill, my art. And, God's blessed me with this talent or whatever. And I'm giving it to you. And not just a little bit. Like I'm like straight up, like I'm giving you one of my best performances ever.
Right.
And I love that. You don't see that in a lot of other places.
No. And you know what else you see in this? You see a lot of performers, actors, and stuff like that where, win an award and they go up, thank God, and this and that, and, thank Jesus and all that stuff. Here's what you saw here. You saw people like Jelly Roll, Dax, Jack Wharf Band, Jody Messina. Those are some of the besides, and then we'll say Brandon Lake. Then we'll talk about Lainey Wilson giving her testimony to 100,000 or to 10,000 people there that morning. But these bands all getting up there and saying, this ain't about me. This is about Jesus. This is about the Lord. And literally preaching and talking about what's behind their songs. Jack Wharf Band's a great one. He has a song called Washed, which is all about how he found God and what it did to him and how it felt. And these are so new up and coming bands, and then established people like Lainey or Jelly Roll, Jelly Roll got up there and said this whole night, his whole thing was just, he was preaching from the main stage in Nissan Stadium, and people were hands up. You could, it was just, it wasn't pandering. I'm just going to throw a shout out to make it feel like I'm this and that. These people, they were giving testimony. They were up there witnessing and that kind of stuff. And, it was just, it was really moving to see, these performers do it free. Like this is all for, raising money for music for children. There's a foundation that the CMA benefits. All of these performers come there, their bands and everything, and they do it for free. None of them get paid a dime. I mean, it
and
is.
and
It is.
that's what's really cool about it. It's genuine. It's
Yeah.
authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The there's yeah, so it was pretty emotional, but no, it was good, and very blessed that able to go and do that and see that. And I couldn't encourage people more than do that, and we got to be extras in a movie. Toby, um,
Ooh.
Glenn Powell came up, and he is
Debuting on Angel Studios.
no, yeah, not only so no, it's a Judd Apatow film. It's a comedy.
Really?
Yes, and Glenn Powell is starring in it, and it's going to be called The Comeback King, and it's out in February. And so they filmed a scene from the main stage and had all of us in the background like chanting and doing all this stuff with our flashlights up on our phones. And he drinks beer out of a boot and all that stuff. So apparently he's the king, country music king that falls, and his tries to fight his way back. But it's a Judd Apatow film, so it's a comedy. Glenn Powell is from Maverick, the newest Top Gun movie, and a number of other movies,
Austin, Texas, baby.
and yeah, so we were so that comes out in February. So I'll be able to say that's my cell phone light right there. That's me.
Yeah.
Where's my royalty check?
Yeah, that cracked screen, that's mine.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was had that too. That was a little bit different, but yeah. So hey, we got some stuff going on. I know we got just a couple minutes left. We're probably just getting right at the end of our time here, but obviously this president's been doing a lot of stuff in foreign policy. People probably forgot about Venezuela already. They probably forgot about the snatch and grab out of there. Remember, we were dropping boats left and right. Haven't been doing that a lot lately in the Caribbean and the Gulf. No more,
or at least not on the news.
Not on the news. And the talks are, Toby, that this weekend the peace deal may be signed with Iran. I guess the 49 Tomahawks the other night let them know that, hey, he's still not bluffing, and it appears that we're on the verge of finally getting that thing locked down. Is that news in Mexico? Is that news down there?
Yeah, a little bit. We're actually, our regional, I'll say regional news does cover, Central America as well as North America. So, we're still seeing, some of this drug interdiction, some of this, terrorist interdiction stuff making the news here. I know it's, so yesterday up there. But one of the things I got in a discussion about this the other day, and they're like, what are your thoughts on the war in Iran? And I like out loud want to say, like, there is no war in Iran. Like, we're bombing the shit out of them, and we're knocking out military targets, and we're blockading them and stuff. But last time I checked, there aren't a bunch of boots on the ground there. There's no infantry waving
kind of a one-way conversation. We're kind of
there's no infantry waving a guide on.
Right.
So like it actually doesn't meet the criteria of war. It's definitely military. It's definitely military action. But like there's all these people like, I can't believe just another endless war and stuff like, okay, we've been bombing this country for 2 months or something. Pretty confident that we didn't call Kosovo a war, right?
We had boots on the ground,
and we bombed the shit out of them for a couple of months,
right?
Like my little Kosovo dealy bob, it's not like I want to say it's campaign, right? It's a campaign.
I guess it'd be a campaign, yeah, or something.
Yeah, it's not a war. So anytime someone's like, "Oh, what do you think that Iran?" Like, we're like the one they had with Iraq that went on a decade, or
right.
We're not engaged in some like long-term quagmire. All these like stupid talking points.
I mean, we selectively can. I mean, we literally telling them where we're gonna we're they can't get away. We're not even worried about surprise or elements.
Oh well, there's only like 8 targets left.
Yeah, we're hitting you tonight. We're right when you're done. right when you're done with evening prayer, that's time on target. Like, it's even yesterday the president was like, we may take Carg Island. I don't know. If we are, we're gonna do it tomorrow. It's just like it is. But this helicopter rescue thing, I mean, two things, right? It's as
The
war
pilot
always,
rescue was
as
amazing.
any kind of military action does, right? We know the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan really propelled a lot of technology forward, life-saving techniques and capabilities, right? We've always seen like wars do spawn innovation and creativity and advancements. And then we see this rescue of the F-15 pilots, right? And it all came out public open source, right? They're detecting his heartbeat from freaking space because it all came out. Yeah, the agency has something using
Through
quantum
granite.
physics or something, and we got a bird in space that picks up his heartbeat, and which should just scare everyone to think, yeah, there's reason why no one can hide from us. You got that, and you're like, wow, they went and snatched that dude out deep inside, and then you have these two helicopter pilots which got hit. I don't know if you heard the whole story yet, Toby, got hit with a drone that stuck into the side between the pilot and the co-pilot and the gunner. As you know, an Apache, the gunner sits in front, pilot sits in the back. It came right between him and stuck into the side of the aircraft, did not blow up, and its engine was still on fire, was still going. So it was heating up the aircraft. Stuck, like, I guess, behind the seat. I don't know, in front of the dudes, the back,
Like
the pilot's
terminal
leg.
burnout.
Yeah, stuck into the side of the air, T-boned the helicopter, right? What are the chances of it hitting there of all? I mean, because it would hit the tail rotor, it would have dropped him, right?
Yeah.
Hit there, did
A little
not
bit
blow
higher.
up,
It would have,
right?
been in the turbine.
Decapitated, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Did not explode. Warhead did not explode, and this bomb is sitting right there in front of you. So they were like, we should probably land this thing. It's getting hot in here, right? Get the canopy off, land it in the water, jump out, and then we send AI powered freaking sea rays, all right, up there, and with no boat captains, right to them. Two of them, each one picks up their own, and then gets them out of there without anybody driving it. Fully AI, drone capable, freaking speedboat. I mean, and it was like, we have those. I loved it. It was like when the helicopter went down in the UBO raid. I was like, did you see, like, we have a helicopter that looks like that? Now it's like, we have boats that can carry 1,000 pounds that would be the ultimate ski boat. Because I could be behind tube and driving and guiding my boat, like, without having to be up there.
No, we have cool stuff, man, and we've had it for long periods of time.
Right.
I'm trying to remember if it was Beanock or Anoch, but it was either Beanock or Anoch. I'm at the Fort Benning School for Boys, and the dude across the hall. So this was Beanock because we were in the dorms, not in Olson Hall. So like Beanock, and the dude across the hall from me, infantry dude, special duty though, 25th in Hawaii, thought work with dolphins, right? So like that was, I don't know, like 2000, 2001. I'm trying to remember when I went to Beanock, but like the other day they were like, we have dolphins in our arsenal. Yeah. Yeah. We've had them for decades. Like I think we started working with them in World War II.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you didn't know, like, apparently you haven't got a recruiter briefing in a minute. Do you want to work with dolphins? We got 242 jobs. One of them's with dolphins. Look at Matt. No, dolphins was post-military service.
But yeah, it was like you could be a mechanic, you could jump out of planes and be a ranger, or you can go work with dolphins. Yeah. And not be the Navy. But no, it's just amazing to see this. I mean, like you said, I mean, even the president has said when they've asked him, he's like, what threat of what? What are they threatening us with? Like, he's like, we pick our targets when we want, and we overpower. We just want them not to have nukes anymore. And so it looks like maybe it's getting to that. And we'll see. And then, is Cuba next? I don't know. He's kind of alluded to, like, we're just going to shift everyone to Cuba and finish that off next. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen there.
Well, hopefully what people are witnessing and comprehending is, you just said something that you know, you're like, we're going to shift the people. Like, we're actually not shifting that many people because we're still there operating and doing all the things that we did with Venezuela.
Right.
There's people just don't realize how big we actually are.
Right.
Iran was bigger. Not anymore.
Nope.
Like they are Dunsky. And like it's so sad to think about, I remember one of the very first things that, you learn in basic training. I was a Sand Hill guy. I think you were Harmony Church.
No, I was Hill.
Uh,
I was
you
Hill
were,
too.
you were Sand Hill too, yeah. The
Delta 150.
C-19 Charlie 119 Rocket Chickamauga. The no, we learned the United States Army's mission. And that was like one of the very first things you had to learn. You had to memorize it and, regurgitate it on demand with your general orders and stuff. And it was, to deter, to deter war, with, demonstration of force, to, prepare and, protect
Right.
peace. However, if deterrence fails, to win with overwhelming violence or whatever,
Yeah. I remember
firepower, just something like
most of
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been many years and a couple of concussions, but like the world and America itself, the United States of America, that is, has forgotten like we're actually the world power. Now
Yeah.
we have some real threats on the horizon. We got China, we got Russia, we got some real threats on the horizon.
Well, I used to think
But in
Russia
the
was.
grand scheme
I'm
of
not
things,
sure. I'm not sure Russia's much of a threat, short of nukes. I mean, their
yeah,
military
and they,
definitely is not a threat.
they're enjoying their second Afghanistan over there in Ukraine, and they're having to kidnap people to go fight, but that's both sides. But like we have the ability to do this, and so like we don't have to apologize, and we don't have to kiss your ass, and we don't have to do these things if we think that it's in the best interests of the world that you don't have a nuclear bomb to kill a bunch of people, because we know you will. Like, uh, I'm pretty confident that most of the guys that I know that lost their legs, most of which were, lost through EFPs,
Which
and,
came from Iran.
like that was Iran.
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure on April 9th, 2004, in, the streets of Mosul, Iraq, when they were coming off in their little black pajamas with the green headbands off the coach buses, they came from Iran. Like we need to be able to do this, and we have the power to do this. We don't have to be sorry for it. We don't have to be apologetic about it. We can be proud of it, because the greatness that comes from these moments improve all of humanity. Everybody benefits.
Yep.
But there is loss, and it comes with a price. And innocent life is usually the very first price that gets paid. But
you notice, like today, the president said, I could go after infrastructure, but why would I do that? That would just hurt the Iranian people. Right. So he said, he goes,
yeah.
I could destroy every bit of the infrastructure in a second. He goes, but I would just hurt the people, and I don't want to do that.
I wish he'd have said that a month ago versus like, and I appreciated his tweet, like a month ago, whatever it was, Truth or whatever it was, where he's like, I could end a whole group of people tonight.
Right.
Like that's the perfect example of when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah. We know that, but you're not supposed to say that.
That's not how you say it.
Yeah.
Like the delivery was wrong.
Well, he's been known to mess that up a time or two. Mess the delivery.
Absolutely. But I did like how he said, like, hey, like, here's the reality. I'm in no way endangered by or threatened by what you have. Like, what are you going to do to us?
Right.
Like, we have it.
Nobody's come to their defense. None of the other superpowers have come, and they've been like, you really shouldn't do that, but they're not coming to bail them out.
No,
I mean, everyone's and through their own idiocy or whatever, they've alienated every other Middle Eastern country by attacking them. I mean, whatever idea fairy they had in their little meeting that said, "Hey, let's hit Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and every other country, Turkey." That'll make them all mad at the U.S. That they should not have a green stamp that one. That should not have gotten the approval.
The Turkey one, really kind of caught my eye because one, they're a neighbor.
Yeah.
Two, Turkey in the past decade have been known to like step across borders
a little bit. Last couple decades, the last several decades,
they're not afraid. They're like, oh, we don't like you, Kurds.
Actually, since I would say since 1990, when I was in Iraq, yeah, they've been known to just come across borders. They don't really.
They have no problem. Like they're habitual line steppers. It's like, who do you want to pick a fight with? The guy that's known for sucker punching people, or like the guy that's like timid? So you hit Dubai because they're timid. You hit Bahrain because they're timid, and we have a little bit of naval assets there. I get that. You throw some scuds to, in the direction of Qatar, because we got a little airfield there. But dude, Turkey, like.
And Rob brings up a good point that
they'll go right back at you.
Yeah, and Rob brings up a good point. They are a member of NATO, right? So they could have garnered, retaliation from that. But yeah, Turkey's like, if you were to bowl against Turkey, they'd be the ones going over the line every time on a bowl when they bowled. I mean, they're definitely sliding into the lane. Who's that little guy?
Line steppers.
Who's that guy?
That's Bond. Same guy.
Bond.
James Bond.
Nice. Look at him. He's like, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't like being on camera, but
he's a washout, but we like him.
There we go. Well, he can relate to you then.
Yeah, no, he's 100%. He's like, were you like a day 62 drop? Cool.
That's it. Well, hey, we've been going for a while, a little over an hour. I want to just wrap up, Toby, and had you here in a while. Anything you want to just leave with everybody? Anything you want to drop?
No, I wish I had more time to get on and talk more. It's really interesting, spending time, on both sides of the border and seeing different perspectives, different media. But I will say I have a lot less conspiracy theories running through my head now here than I did at home.
Really?
Yeah, because here they just come out on the news as truth. They're like, hey, those stupid Americans are doing this again. Like, did you know?
Like Mexican Snapple have like little facts inside the Mexican Snapple bottles about America.
They're like, yeah, the United States did smuggle people into Mexico to like walk across the border.
Like, oh my Lord. All right. Well, good, man. Good having you on. Hope we get you back more often. I know it is. You're very busy down there, and it's you got a lot going on. You got a lot of responsibility, and you got to take care of them customers. But good having you back, brother. You are half this show, and I've had so many people like, so who's Nunn? I'm like, that's my co-host. You ever see it? Like, it's not.
He doesn't exist.
It's not Rob. It's just
I'm the imaginary girlfriend. You know, like.
She is hot. I'm telling you. You just haven't met her
Mom,
yet.
I really am like going out with somebody. Of course you are, dear.
Yeah.
Big shout out to your mom too.
She is. I'm sure she's watching. She usually is. Yep. And many other folks. John Kaiser's watching. We got Shard on.
John Kaiser, getting colleague Jen's on the Tenacity Outdoors boat out there doubling up on sturgeon. Shout out my guy.
We got Donald Hull is in the chat.
Oh, the Enforcer, 1-5 cap, Black Knights.
Black Knights. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we got quite a few folks in the night, but everyone tuned in to see Toby. That's it, man. When you make an appearance, you bring in.
I should do it more often.
That's it. But All right, man. Well, good to see you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in with us tonight, watching, and giving up some of your Thursday evening. If you're watching this after the fact, thanks for taking time to watch this. Be sure and follow all of our sponsors. Check them out. I'm rolling right now the Grill Your Ass Off discount at the bottom, grillyourassoff.com/Stu and the Nunn, 15% off. Also, you get 10% off Alpha Elite Performance. Check out Marvita, Boo Hammer, and all of our other sponsors. But thank you, everybody, for joining. And we will hope to see you again next week. Toby, good to see you, brother.